Hey, hey guys. Um, Lanos is here. Well, today was an interesting day. Found out some news that I guess I kind of knew, but didn't at the same time. Um, well, let's take you back to last, a little before last Thanksgiving. So we're putting new light holes up in the ceiling to put more lights in for the living room. My dad and not youngest brother, but one of my younger brothers were up there with him. And, I come over and see how they're doing. Um, Said hi and everything and hung out there for a bit. And, I take a look up in the attic because, my mom's always had stuff in the attic. She just never really gets down. And now I know why. And she doesn't like going up there due to her being claustrophobic, but even if she wasn't, she probably wouldn't ever go up there. Um, I see some baby clothes. I'm like, okay, well, I'm the oldest, so I'm like, oh, these are my baby clothes, huh? And she goes, no. I'm like, what? I'm the oldest, so I'm confused. And since they're not mine, whose are they? That's what I ask, and she goes, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be upset for the holidays. I'm like, okay, I can respect that. So, I just let it go. I don't really think too much of it. I didn't mention it for months. And today I asked, hey, um, do you want to talk about what whose clothes were up in the attic? And she said no again because she didn't want to be upset and to cry. And when she thinks about it, she can't really eat or sleep. So I'm like, okay, so this is some pretty heavy stuff. Then, so I ask her, can I ask my uncle? And she goes, yeah. Or I ask her if he knew, and she said yes. And I asked her if I could ask him. She said yes. So, I don't really, maybe about an hour ago now, I kind of put it off for a bit. I was like, well, if it's nothing she wants to talk about, then, you know, yada yada, I had an idea what it was, but I didn't know what it was. I was right about one part. So I call him, and I asked him what it was. And he told me it was my brother's. And I'm like, I was like, geez, I had an older brother. I went 22 years of my life. The first two don't really count. The first four don't really count. So I went 18 years of my life not knowing I had an older brother. Well, he he died June 2nd of 2000. Um, so he was not even 18 yet. He was he was about to be 18. Um, and I'm dumbfounded by it. I can't go up to my mom saying, "Yeah, I know everything now," because if she doesn't want to talk about it, I'm not going to talk to her about it because it's just, she's not talking about it for a reason. Um, so I, ask where his plaque was or burial was, and it was supposedly in a graveyard near me, about maybe 15 minutes away. And I go out there, it being about 8 or 9 o'clock. Um, we go out there. My uncle tells me, I don't really ask specifics about him. I mean, why would I? I didn't know the guy, and I don't know. I went out there to see his plaque, but he, my uncle told me that he doesn't know if there was a plaque out there. My mom didn't attend the funeral because it was just too much on her. She's a very emotional woman. And she just wanted to um um just didn't want that, which I genuinely understand. Losing a son is probably more pain than anyone could ever go through, especially at such a young age. Um, so go out there. There's no plaque. The His father was supposed to. Well, they said they'd pay for the plaque. They didn't. Um, so I'm going to. I feel like, as a younger brother, I feel like I should do that for him. Even though I never met the guy he died a year before I was born. Um, I just, I could go out and visit him and actually see where he's at now. And, um, he's next to my great grandma, which I never really knew her. I didn't. She had really nothing much to do with me, and I was gonna go out and see my grandma, but they didn't really have a service for her, and yada. But I'll see what he looks like here soon. My uncle has photos and whatnot, and yeah, we'll see. Um, it's definitely a lot to process and take in at one time. So now I know that I had another brother that is no longer here with us. He always, for those who are in the similar situation, you know, you wonder if, you two would have been close or hated each other, you know, just like the typical family brother stuff or whatever. Apparently, him and my aunt were really, really close. Um, they went up to New York together, so they were pretty close. So, um, yeah, I found out. I found out. I'll find out more details soon. Um, yeah, what a day. Um, what an interesting day. I think, I'm not sad. I guess I'm just disappointed at the world. Um, I also think, if he was still around, would I be here? Was I just a kid who, I know I'm not gonna replace him, but am I the thing that am I the kid that my mom had to not, you know, think about it as someone to distract, which I don't think that was the case, but you never know. I don't think so. I know she loves me, but I don't know. What it's like, you know, one has to die so the other can live type thing. But yeah, what a thing to find out. I know my two closest friends found out before me, but they didn't tell me, which I'm really glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't. Um, I think my uncle was the right person to tell me, if anyone were to. Me and him are very close. Um, what a year. Honestly, it's been full of adventure and full of news related stuff that, you know, wasn't really so good. Um, I'll make more videos soon. Right now, I think I need time to sit down and figure everything out. I'm fine, it's just, you know, some things just feel different when you know things, you know? When you get knowledge of something, it just kind of flips your, yeah, if it's big news, it kind of flips your perspective on life. And that it's done for me. Yeah. I think I'll do the occasional streams, you know, I don't, I know I'm very hit or miss with this, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I just don't have, you know, I get waves of wanting to do YouTube and waves of just wanting to be alone, you know? And I think, you know, depression is kind of sat in my corner luring me there, you know? Um, whether I feel it or not, you know, whether I actively look at it. Um, it's been a very rough 4 years, but I think I think I'll get through it. I just need a bit of time to myself. So anyway, thank you guys for those who do watch this video through. I know it's been kind of interesting or boring than anything, but I think, you know, I can't really go around telling my family because then they'll mention it to mom and mom will not be good. So if I'm gonna talk about it, then I'm just gonna talk to you guys about it because not much else I can really do. You know, I got my 4 friends, but I think I just need to sit this one and think it through. So anyway, I hope you lovely people have a great day, great night, great week, great year, great month. Keep your head up. Things get low. Everyone's going through something. And there's probably people who are going through what you're going through. You know, any concern to me every month is Mental Health Awareness Month. I don't think we should categorize men and women's mental health in a month, but it should be all time. You know, this month is, you know, the Pride Month, which, you know, it's good to be prideful for who you are, but, you know, sometimes your mental health isn't the best, even if you are proud of who you are. You know, you had May Mental Health Month, and then June's also Men's Mental Health Month. I'm pretty sure. And it's great, you know, having months dedicated for certain things, but why should it be dedicated to a month? It should be, I mean, for everything, honestly. You know, everything should be an awareness month, you know? Everybody should be aware of the problems going on in the world and not focused on some, you know, minuscule battle with, you know, Drake and Kendrick, Chris and Quavo. Um, you know, I don't know. I feel like our attention span is so small, and anything that we're slightly interested in blows up, then we're all for it and forgetting about the problems of the world. And I can admit I'm one of those people who've, you know, looked the other way. I just feel like it's unfortunate, but man, I'm going on the rant today. Sorry about that. Um, anyway, guys, hope you all have a great time in your day, a great time in your night, and just a great time in general. And I will see you guys when I'm back. There's Vanos, aka CJ, and I'm I'm gonna think everything over.